Did ThorChain go insolvent? I'm going to share with you what happened today, friends. So there was a long-winded FUD post that came out for ThorChain, and the ticker is RUNE. Now, actually, what actually occurred is that this gentleman comes out and he explains how there's a lot of assets, but they're not enough to cover the liabilities. Like 100 million assets, 200 million liabilities. But here's the thing: ThorChain, it lets you swap cross-chain. So, for example, you can have a Bitcoin, and then you can actually send it to the chain, and then it lets you swap into like Ethereum. I think it's meant to be like a decentralized thing like that. Not like Change Now. It's meant to like, you know, Change Now, I think they have their own like privacy filters. Like if you're like sanctioned, they do some filtering and stuff. I think they do. They collect like KYC and stuff out here. But just like background stuff. And I think ThorChain meant to compete with them. Cross-chain swaps. Now, here's the thing. So initially it comes out and reminded me, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, man, okay, so it drops 33%. I'm looking at it. I'm like, look, it reminds me of PulseChain stuff where I'm like, I bet the information we're seeing ain't the full story and something's just going to be able to work itself later on. Well, it turns out I was right. Well, here's the thing, man. It's down 90% against USD price. That's ThorChain. But also it gets a bit painful because if we continue, it's down against Bitcoin 96% from its 2021 peak. Now, that's child's play because Hex is down 98% after 3.5 years. Well, so was this as well. So was this. This is also down 96%. See how it's come back, just like slugged it down. Now, I'm going to thank Ranny Boo. Ranny Boo has made a post to like dispel the FUD. Okay, because here's the thing, friends. So why is this important? Because I want you to see like prices are really cheap. This is capitulation. You know, it's really, really, really cheap. It's just here's the thing, man. We're right before a bull market. And you don't just have like free bullets to throw because this is the year things are meant to happen. Okay, so if this is the year things are meant to happen, then you have opportunity cost. You know, like for example, like PulseChain capitulated ages ago. We had the corrupt SEC and Interpol, you know what I mean? And Hex has been capitulated ages ago. Like they've spent longer time in their capitulation. They've had time to get rid of the sellers to like basically absorb them. And then you have PDI moving up and Purple Bitcoin. Yeah, there's a lot of other opportunities, right? But yeah, it's just something to think about. So I see a lot of people on my timeline that are under the impression that the protocol has failed and is insolvent. This is incorrect. The protocol is a decentralized cross-chain protocol. It's working perfectly. It generates huge fees. It can't go insolvent, he says. One of the additional features the team added was saving and lending. So basically they're a chain and they expanded to like say, hey, let's add a DeFi money lending thing. And I think there was a flaw in. I heard they were almost effectively short Bitcoin. I think they were like, yeah, effectively they were short Bitcoin. They were trying to provide extra fees and they try to make up for it by being short Bitcoin over time and like bad move because like, yeah, they don't have enough. Now, the amount they owe money for the savers and lenders is like $75 million or something. And Rand says that's a small amount of money. So obviously, I guess because Rand's net worth is $200 million, he's like, yeah, 75 million. That's sweet. We'll cover it. Don't worry. We've got lollipops for everybody. Like he also mentions, this is a huge lesson. Layer 1s must remain protocols that do what they do and they don't do any additional experiments. It's also, friends, why you see like Richard, he's got PulseChain, Hex, he's got those things, but he's not constantly like adding all the features to PulseX every 5 seconds. You know, he's probably working on other things just to get the basics done, the bricks and mortar. So sometimes you need to face a tough lesson to be forced to pivot back to your core, and I believe this was just happened. So like I said, I had that feeling. I'm like, you know what, man, it just doesn't feel like, oh, it's all over. How's a chain go insolvent, right? But it's just, that's something to think about. Now, like that's why I want to show this to you because cheap prices do appear. Cheap prices do appear, and you know there is FUD. And I hope if you're holding it, I hope it does well, man. I hope it comes back and it does a V bottom or something. I really hope it does. It is tough though because we're right at that cusp, man, and you've just been slugged now. Okay, but if you believe in it, I guess like good luck. Hope it works out. I can just show you. Like this chart, it's just like if you're riding this, it feels so much nicer. You know what I mean? Like this is P-die. And this is the people's die. Now, you never know. You know ThorChain, friends, I'll just show you down 96%. it could have like a flash up, but not anytime soon. These things, it's capitulated, it's bad FUD, people sell lows, they're exponentially getting rid of all their bag just to go chase other things. That's the unfortunate reality about this stuff when it comes to these situations like this. But also, like, we have PulseChain stuff out here. Like, I'd personally, PulseChain, the spears low, I'd rather go punt on Dick with Butt, Pika, Tangang stuff, you know, Teddy Bear, Troker ecosystem, like, because you're like, you know, like, PulseChain's really undervalued. And see what I mean, Benzo? Like, it's always capital allocation, right? Like, yeah, you could go and throw it in there. And remember, Benzo, I have that rule. I'm like, remember I told you, I know this for next bear market. If something looks cheap to me, I'm just going to throw something in. Because how many times, friends, I've gone through this. I've told you so many times. I've said, well, every time I look at something, I go, I know you're cheap. I know you are. I just don't think you're going to go up anytime soon. And then I don't look at it. It always goes up faster than the things I'm looking at. However, it's almost Feb 2025 now. Like, oh man, the unlucky timing when it comes to this stuff out here. So, but it is true, man. It is true. Maybe we'll just have to throw a bullet somewhere. It's just that I am going to wait for more rounded capitulations personally out here. So this is the RUNE BTC chart. This should show you, friends. So see how it's like done this dagger out here. Look, even when it reversed here, this was still like 60 days. This is like 4 weeks. Okay. So it's come back out here. So you never know, man. Maybe it does something like that. And then if you want to punt it, maybe have a go at the very end. This thing is multi-billion. I think it's multi-billion market cap. I'm just curious. It's big, man. It's just big. It's just like you know buying FUD. You know, like, hey, dude, if there's any time to buy FUD, you know this is FUD stuff, right? You know it is. It's a billion market cap. Wow. But looking at comparables though, like if you're gonna buy a 1 billion market cap coin, you got PulseChain core coins, bro. You got Pulse 840 million, PulseX. You see what I mean, friends? Like, you know, PulseX is below still the day one sack, man. PulseX can does a 3x on your money, and you're back to we're back to break even from like 3.5 years ago, almost, or something. You know, that's just. And PulseChain PLS does a 2x on your money. See what I mean? It's like you have a big margin of safety, but that's also because we know everyone. Like, there's conferences. There's Richard Hart. The market's prices a 1% probability to succeed. You know, we know the market's wrong. We know as well, like, the market thinks Richard Hart's missing forever. It's probably not. You also know we got the PDI magic and all these things coming out here, right? See all these advantages, right? You got me, got the fluffiest microphone in the world, literally straightest posture, fluffiest microphone, pointiest elbows. You see us stacking all these. But, like, let's say we didn't have PulseChain. Yeah, you could make a case for that. Could make a case. Just that, like it's tough, man, because, like, we're, like, right in the year. It's, like, right now. Like, the next 3 to 4 months. Like, you don't have 12 months to go through and see if it rounds off and tricks everybody out. You don't have that. You've got like about 7 days. I'm not even joking. Like, you're just running out of time. Like, what if Ethereum just starts pumping up? But hopefully, man, I really want them to succeed and to turn it around, you know. And you're not gatekept or anything, right? Like, Erik Voorhees likes them. He's a Bitcoin OG. Never meet your heroes, friends. That's some Twitter story lore between me and Erik. That hurt. Yeah. So if you remember, like, Erik Voorhees, I'll just show you him, because yeah, this never meet your heroes, man. It's true. Erik, man, he's really smart guy. He's a really cool guy. Defends crypto. He was the guy. He actually basically pretty much onboarded me, him and Andreas, into crypto, because I watched his debate against Schiff, Uncle Peter Schiff, and, like, I love you, Uncle Peter. Salim to you. I've just never seen an old man get eviscerated like this. The budget, just him. If you ever watch, man, it's just, I couldn't believe this guy. Because my first time in crypto, I'm just watching him. Like, he had an answer for everything. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I got to show you. This is it right now. Wow, man, this is taking me back. Friends, this was 6 years ago. So this was in July 2018 it was made. I forgot. I think I watched it towards the end of it. I couldn't. This little nerd just sitting here. Look at, you know, Peter Schiff. You know, he's got an out. He's hanging out with the boys. He's got a gold tie. He's like, yeah, it's gold. It's been around thousands of years. I love you, Uncle Peter Schiff, and your son as well. I know you watch the channel. So, I'm just watching this nerd guy because I don't understand I don't understand what's a Satoshi. Like, I have no idea it works. I just was bamboozled. My was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This guy has an answer for everything. The limited supply, the money debasement, the fungibility, all these things. I just couldn't believe it, man. I just was like, you know.
An aspect of Bitcoin which is intrinsic to it. In other words, volatility is what happens when the market is trying to decide on its value.
I was like, well, because Uncle Peter Schiff is like, you're a piece of trash, bro. You dropped 90% and you can't be money. And then he's like, no, Habib. Volatility is what happens when, you know, everyone's trying to price the thing. It has to be that volatile. It has to because it's a little liquidity bucket. It's sucking in the money. It's sucking in the money from the big ocean of fiat out there. And because there's so much money printed, when it sloshes in, there's huge amounts. And even the tiniest of like a withdrawal of the liquidity splashes it back down. So my brain was like, oh my, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, man. That's it. But yeah, Erik's into ThorChain. You know, he's like a Bitcoin OG. Erik's into ThorChain. That's why I was like they're not gatekept, man. You know, you got a bit of the OG in your, and then you see, you know, like on the other spectrum, we got Mr. Fart. You got Richie over here. You see what I mean? Like, but it creates opportunity. You know, like if everyone loved Richard, the prices would be up higher. You'd have no opportunity. Your bags would be much smaller. Trust me, your bags would be smaller. Okay, you'd be trying to buy harder, but your bags would be, your quantity would be smaller. The opportunity would be gone. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like this is PulseChain core coins. It just feels a bit. You know what? I hate to say it. I don't like looking at it like this, but with the ThorChain FUD, it feels like, oh, someone out there actually has it worse than us. It's like one coin. Because like you guys are just dumping now. But by the way, we've lost more value than them if you're looking at Hex. They're down 96% against BTC. Hex is down 98%. But like, look when they're feeding the stab. Blah. They're feeding it right now. You see? So yeah, the complication of the cycles makes it a bit tougher out here. But yeah, I hope you learned something, friends, today. So prices are definitely cheap. Prices are cheap. These protocols though, and these, you know, like, cheap is cheap. That's it. You know, if you want to throw something in, you can see what happens. It's just like, I think it's on centralized exchanges and stuff out here. You know, it's like on Binance and stuff. It's not, yeah, it ain't deep down the risk curve, if you know what I mean. You know, it ain't deep down the risk curve. But then again, XRP wasn't. Look at that worked out. But yeah, look how long it took to work out, by the way. You had to hold it for 2 years. You know, you have to hold it for 2 years and then nothing else moved consistently. Yeah. Yeah, I hope your friends, this journey, you get to see, basically learn off me. I'm sharing all your knowledge and friendship. So, yeah, sometimes you got to break the rules, friends. Remember, like I told you, if you're a soccer player, don't do the volley kick, you know? And then you watch TV, you're like, dude, this guy's getting paid $4 million a month. He did a freaking volley kick and it worked for him. And you're like, yeah, bro, they can break the rules. You know what I mean? Like, that's why when I'm looking at ThorChain now, I'm like, if this was a year ago, got to get some. When it's like 16 days away from like Ethereum smacking up and like PulseChain reversing up fast and everyone rushing in because there's nobody ready to cheat, like the capitulation stuff, you know. But still, man, it can still come up. It still can come up, friends. It really can. But if you're saying to me like, hey, Sammy, let's not even use opinion. Friends, we can just, okay, what we can do, if you allow me, without any racism, is if you put on a weekly SuperTrend, okay, this is the weekly SuperTrend. You know, like, look at this, okay? When it flipped green on the weekly SuperTrend in Feb 2021, it still did a freaking 5.6x against Bitcoin. And you didn't even have to hold through the FUD, you know? So that's what you'd probably be waiting to do. Maybe it does like this and it comes back down and then alt season wave 2, you get something like that. I'm just guessing. And then because I'm assuming this would flip it green and then maybe you buy here That 350%. We'll see. We'll see. You can, if you want to, you can watch it, friends, if you want. Remember, this is RUNE BTC ratio. Okay, this is what you want. So yeah, like also you can get faked out, can you? That sucked. But look when it was. It was March 2022. You know, it's after some euphoria bursts. So there you go. I'm not saying no to it. It's just like if you're like, you know what, man, I just let the bottom pickers, let the real believers. I know it's probably gonna do something like this, but let them enjoy this move up, and then you can get in here if you want. Okay, so don't forget, out of goodness and friendship and for good health, friends, I'm gonna peg my nipples again, because Hex community, PulseChain community, we've had the worst of everyone, like way worse. And I hope there's some saving grace that comes out. Like, I don't want to see anyone go through what we went through. I really don't. I don't, because I'll be honest, friends. If a coin in the future just goes through half of what PulseChain community went through, and I'm not exaggerating, there will be people who end their own life, sadly. Okay? I know there will be. They will. That's how serious this is. And I know it will happen. I know markets. I don't want it to happen. I just know someone's going to get the curse. They're going to get the skull emoji. Okay? So, at least you get to see it, though. Participating in markets, you know, when you're in spot altcoins, friends, so you can just sit in spot. You're like, hey, can you finally move up? If you're dingo leveraged, they can force you out. You got to see the other side, though. Maybe you're in PulseChain and stuff, you've learned when FUD events, it's funny, when FUD events come your way publicly, like I'm showing you right now, you're probably like, I'm making you better a bit. You're like, because you're thinking like me now. And I think like, is there a reason for me to buy? I'm looking for a reason to buy. Give me a reason to get long. Everyone's saying it's trash now. Everyone's saying it's over. I'm like, because I've reported on, they're insolvent, things are bad, price is down. I'm already looking, I want a reason to buy. You know, that's why, friends, my ears and eyes are open. I found Ranny Boo's post. There are many people, they're not going to look at, you know, Ranny Boo's post. They'll be like, trash, it's insolvent. I don't want to touch it and whatever. I'm like, interesting. Like, see, I'm looking out for there here. So that's why, like, perhaps, and I mean this in a very, very non-racist way, please, perhaps at like the top of the bull market, when we go up, you never know, man. Maybe I prick a bit of a bubble in your mind, and I'm like, well, the 4-year cycle has repeated every single time. This is the 4th time now. In 3 out of 3 times, you are now meant to sell everything and then buy back Bitcoin in 12 months. This time could be different. However, since we've had 3 data points and all 3 said to sell, even if you think this time is different, I want you to think about how sure are you this time is different? How sure are you? Even if you're 50% sure, 70% sure, okay, that's the percentage you stay long, which means protect yourself with the others. Protect yourself, you know? So that's what I'm trying to, basically, because friends, what would I be doing there? Now, it's going to be tough because everybody will be saying this is the beginning of the new golden age of US of A. Americana's coming back. We're all starting. The bull markets are starting. It's all starting again. It's mega super solid. They might be saying something like that. And I'm saying, look, bro, I hope it is, dude. It's just like, I don't know the future, man. I don't know the future. And guess what? You don't know the future either. Because if you knew the future, you would have retired by now. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.